Since we're nearing the beginning of a new year, I thought it would be the perfect time to share with you some of my favorite productivity apps for iPhone. So if you're looking for any recommendations to get productive in the new year, these are some of my favorites. All of the apps that I'm going to be mentioning do sync seamlessly with all of my devices, which really helps with staying on top of things, even when I'm on the go with just my iPhone. Speaking of being on the go, one of my favorite accessories for being productive and creative is the phone tripod stand from today's sponsor, which is Moft. This stand snaps onto the back of your phone using MagSafe, and since it's so small and compact, it's perfect for anyone who's always moving, whether you're a student, a professional, or a creator like me. What I love about the tripod stand is just how versatile it is. With one simple fold, I can use it in floating mode to elevate my phone. To me, this is really helpful when it comes to filming content, hopping on video calls, or even just watching shows when I'm winding down. If you're a creator, you'll really love vlogging mode. It transforms into a selfie stick for filming yourself, or you can use it as a camera stick to easily capture B-roll or other creative shots. And when I quickly need to reference something like apps or put my phone into standby mode, the stand mode makes it really easy to prop up my phone securely. Now, my absolute favorite thing about this tripod stand is just how lightweight and compact it is. It's so subtle you'll barely even notice that it's there. Plus, it comes in a range of beautiful colors which you can mix and match with Moft's Movis case. And here's the best part, Moft is currently running their Christmas sale, which means you can buy 2 products and get 15% off. So whether you're looking to treat yourself or check off a gift for someone on your list, this is the perfect time. I'll have all the links in my description, so definitely don't miss out on this deal. And thank you again so much to Moft for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Now let's get into some of my favorite productivity apps for iPhone. Now first off, we have Reminders, and I know this is a fairly simple app and it doesn't have a lot of features, but I think that's what I really like about the app, is just how simple it is. Like all the other apps on my list, it syncs across my devices, so it's available on my iPad and Mac as well as native apps. And what I mostly use Reminders for is quick to-do lists or just quick brain dumps. So whenever something comes to mind that I need to do, I just write it in my to-do list in Reminders. And I also have different sections within a list, so if I have a specific thing to film, I can add it. If I have something specific that I need to edit, I add it in. So it's really, to me, just like a brain dump of things, because I have to be honest, I don't have the best memory, so this way I just make sure I don't forget anything. And what I also love to use Reminders for is for grocery lists. Now if you didn't know, you can set your list type in Reminders to groceries, so that way whenever you add in something to the list, it will categorize it to a certain section. So whenever I see that I've run out of something in the house, I just quickly add it to the Reminders list. And this is also really helpful when it comes to shopping, since it's categorized by section, so you can make sure you get everything from the one section and then move on to the next. Now when it comes to deciding which apps I like to use, UI, so the user interface, does play a big role in that. So basically how it looks, how it functions, all of that. So that's why my next app is Apple Calendar, but I use my Google Calendar account in Apple Calendar. And I know that sounds kind of dumb, because why don't I just use the Google Calendar app for Google Calendar? And my simple answer to that is the apps. I prefer the look and overall usage of Apple Calendar, and also Apple Calendar is available in a native app on my computer, which there isn't a Google Calendar app for Mac. So that's also something that I really love. I don't have to go into a web browser to use my calendar. It's just an app on my Mac. Now your next question might be, why am I not just using my Apple Calendar account, and why am I using my Google Calendar account? The reason for that is because Google Calendar is a lot more compatible with other apps like Notion. You can use your Apple Calendar account to sync to Notion, for instance. It just doesn't sync as well. And yeah, overall, Google Calendar is just a lot more compatible with other third-party apps to sync your calendar to those apps. So that was my long-winded explanation of why I prefer the Apple Calendar app. But yeah, also Reminders are integrated with Apple Calendars. So whenever I schedule a reminder in the Reminders app, it will also show up in my Apple Calendar app. So that's also really nice, since the two work together. Now, I bet you were thinking you can't get any more basic than Reminders and Apple Calendar. Just wait, my next app is Notion. So I know everyone and their mom uses this app. I have to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of Notion on my phone. It just doesn't work as well when it comes to creating pages and interacting with databases and things like that. It just doesn't feel as natural. It feels really stiff and just complicated, and some views are limited. It's just not the best experience. But what I use Notion for a lot is for instances like this. When I'm filming, I script out all of my videos in Notion. I plan everything out on there. So Notion on my phone, I mostly use to reference things like my script right now. I have it on my phone. It's a small thing that I can just have with me. And yeah, overall, anything that I've put into Notion, I can just quickly reference on my phone. So that's what I use Notion for the most when it comes to being on my phone. But yeah, creating pages and doing that, I mostly do on like my computer. A feature that I also think is underrated when it comes to Notion is when I open up Notion, it does show me my most recently accessed pages. So if I worked on this video in Notion on my computer, when I open up Notion on my phone, it's gonna be one of the first recommendations, so I can just quickly access it there. I don't know if this is a well-loved feature, but this is something that I use a lot. The next app is not something that I use every single day. It's really dependent on the type of day that I'm having, but it's the app called Structured, which is a time blocking app where you can write out your to-do list in your timetable for the day. And what I really love about this app, like the other apps, is the user interface and the user design, how it looks. So you can color code your tasks, and you can also add icons to a task, and it just really lays it out so nicely in this timeline view. Also, the widget for this app is absolutely beautiful. The look of the color filling in the icon to indicate the time moving is just really nice. You have different type of widgets for this. Also, you can click on a task and click on focus now, and the UI of this also looks really satisfying if you want to just focus on a certain task. And when you're in the focus now mode, it will be a live activity on your phone, so you'll be able to see it in your dynamic island, in your lock screen, and also in standby mode, which also looks really nice. And you also have an interactive widget in standby mode that you can also use to tick off your to-do list. So yeah, this is a really nice time blocking app. Like I said, I don't use this every single day. It really depends if I'm having a lot to do that day and want to time block. Other times I will just use reminders to write a to-do list, but this is another option. Now the last app is a really simple app. It's Clock Phone, which is a very nice looking clock app on your phone. I really like the look of it, especially when it switches to the next minute. It just looks really nice. I like the animation. So how I use this is like just a functional way of just propping up my phone, getting it out of my way. I just have the time there, and you can also use timers in this. So if you want to set like a 25-minute Pomodoro timer, you can set that on this app. It will show you the countdown for your timer that you've set, and then it's just a nice looking thing on your desk. That's a clock, but also a timer, and also just a way to just put your phone off to the side. I don't know if anyone else is gonna find this functional. I just really like the look of it. I also like the look of it in my videos, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, if you're looking for an app like this, I think this is a nice option. So those were all my productivity apps for iPhone. I know a lot of these apps were really basic and not revolutionary in any way, but these just are really simple, which is what I'm looking for when it comes to my productivity app. I'm looking for it to be useful, and if it's cute, that's also a bonus. So yeah, those are the apps that I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope you could find an app that you can incorporate into your workflow in 2025. Let me know if any of these apps you like to use, or if you're gonna start using it, what are your thoughts? I would also love to hear you guys' suggestions on other apps as well. You know my requirements for a good productivity app, so I'd love to hear your suggestions. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you again to Moft for sponsoring today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.